Hey YouTube, Danae here. It is currently the 5th of April and today's random vlog topic is budgeting. A budget is a very important thing to know about, especially if you're an adult. If you're an adult, you probably already know about budgeting because you're probably already doing it or at least trying to. But in my opinion, it's something that up-and-comers need to know about. Recent college graduates, etc., 20-somethings, people who don't know what the hell they're doing with their lives. They need to know how to budget. I think that it is a problem that this isn't taught anymore as a skill, because if you know how to budget, you can either maintain or attain the quality of life that you want. So what follows are my 4 tips for budgeting. Tip number 1, the first thing you want to write down in any budget, yes, it's an obvious fact, but it's true, are the items that aren't going to change from month to month. These are things like a rent or house payment, a car payment, an insurance payment. Yes, these are also the things that tend to take the biggest chunk out of your budget. I'm sorry, this is sometimes the way life works. Deal with it. Tip number 2, the next thing in your budget will be your utilities, your gas payment, your gas for your car, that kind of thing. These are the things that tend to fluctuate from month to month. Maybe by a lot, maybe by a little. It all depends on what the hell you're doing. With these amounts, it's better to overestimate than to underestimate. You don't want to be spot on. You don't want to be assuming that you'll owe the same amount every month, because with these things you won't. And the reason it's better to overestimate is because if you are able to overestimate, if you budget more for it than you need, you will have a little bit of extra money at the end of the month. And that's always good. This extra money can go towards, say, another bill or a trip to the grocery store or whatever else it is you need to get done. Tip number 3, know where the money is coming from. Know which checks, for example, are going to go towards your rent payment. Know which checks are going to go towards your car payment. Generally, the last check of one month and the first check of the next, or checks as the case may be, is what needs to go towards your rent, because that's usually when it's due. Other bills, you can maybe work around and figure out different due dates based on when your income is coming in. But yeah, plan on paying your rent as close to the first of the month as you can, because that's what they like. After you've paid your rent, then start on the smaller bills, the ones that change every month. Look at what you need, look at what you have, and look at when you're going to get more and how much of that more you need. My final tip is to remember to pay yourself. This comes in 2 parts. Number 1, an entertainment budget. Yes, you need to have a small amount planned so that if you want to do a little something extra, you can. Your entertainment budget does not need to exceed or equal your rent payment. If it does, either you're doing it wrong or I want your job or your house, whichever. Part number 2 of paying yourself. You need to make sure that you take a small amount out of every check, keyword small, whatever you can afford, 10 bucks, 15 bucks, put it aside, put it into savings. These are your emergency funds, or your funds for eventually a large purchase, whichever happens to come first. Right now, I've got some savings set up. Most of it, I'll be honest, is my refund check from when I filed my taxes, because I just dumped the entire thing into my savings account because it was like extra money. It wasn't in my budget. I wasn't counting on it. That's another thing. When it comes to like a refund check or something like that, something you may not normally get or may not regularly get, don't put it in your budget. It shouldn't be there because it's not always going to be. Your budget needs to be the money that you're always going to have coming in, and generally the amounts you're going to have coming in. So there we go. 4 tips and a bonus, so 5 tips on budgeting, and I'm going to go get some food before I have to go to work. Please subscribe if you want to see more. I will be back tomorrow. Like if you thought the video was worthy. If there were any tips you thought I forgot or any vlog topics that you'd like to hear me ramble about this month, please leave them below in comments. I will read everything, and I hope everybody has an awesome day. Bye.